today we have a 1997 Paul Reed Smith Custom 24. The Custom 24 is really the quintessential Paul Reed Smith guitar. When Paul Reed Smith officially started the company in 1985 and opened his first, it wasn't really a factory, but guitar building shop, he had two models, the PRS and the PRS Custom 24, or the PRS and the PRS Custom. Really, just two models. They both feature 24 frets on the fingerboard. The PRS was a solid mahogany body guitar, while the Custom had a mahogany body with a maple top. And they're just almost perfectly engineered instruments. They're just beautifully built. They play wonderfully. They sound great. There's really nothing negative that I think you can say about a PRS guitar. You know, the tone may or may not be for everybody. Everybody's got a subjective opinion on that. Some people might like the sometimes over-the-top flaminess that he put into the tops of the guitars and the overall look. But they are just incredibly well-built guitars. I bought this one in 1998. I think it was along about March or April of 1998. I was working up in the Fox Valley in Wisconsin, working with some paper mills, and I had known that there was a small guitar shop up there in Kaukauna, Wisconsin, called Electric City. And I'd never been in there before, but I happened to be in Kaukauna, in town, and I thought, hey, I'm going to stop by that guitar shop and see if what they have. So I stopped in, and I'd been saving up my money to buy a new guitar because I'd been playing with the Pontiac Blues Band for quite a while, and we were playing a lot. We were very, very active in throughout the 1990s. We were playing 2 to 3 shows a week, and I had pretty much worn out my old Gibson, and I had getting close to wearing out my other Paul Reed Smith that I had replaced the Gibson with. And it needed some TLC, but we had to keep going. I couldn't afford to have my guitar out of commission for a week or two at a time. So I was looking to buy another guitar to kind of pad what I had. And when I first bought my first Paul Reed Smith, back in 1991, I think it was, I had seen a custom. Like my other Paul Reed Smith is a standard, so I'd bought I'd looked at a custom, but it was way too much money back then. Now I was making more money, and the band was pulling in quite a bit as well. We were working all the time, and I like to finance all of my my music purchases with gig money. So I happened to walk into Electric City Music in Kaukauna, Wisconsin, and saw this one hanging on the wall. Now, green is not particularly my favorite color on a guitar, and this one's kind of a turquoise, if you will. And I'd never really thought about purchasing a green guitar before, but this one just absolutely called out to me. Just thought it was a beautiful guitar. The quilt top on this thing is amazing. It's I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera or not, but it's just a beautiful looking guitar, and it has all the wonderful accoutrements of a Custom 24. So Paul Reed Smiths are a little bit unique. At least they were at the time. They had the first generation locking tuners. Now, locking tuners were still something pretty new in the 80s and 90s. And this had the original wing style locking tuners. I love them. Other people don't like them. I just think they're fantastic. For me, they work absolutely perfectly. You don't have to get a bunch of wraps on there to get your string wound. They lock beautifully tight. And you can put a fresh string on there in a matter of seconds. It's quick and easy. So of course, back in the Pontiac Blues Band days, I was playing pretty aggressively, and I broke a lot of strings. So it was not uncommon at all for me to have to replace a string, sometimes even during the middle of a song. So having these locking tuners was a godsend for me. The Paul Reed Smith vibrato system is just fantastic. It is extremely stable. Maybe I'll show that off in a little bit, but even if I break a string, even though it's a floating vibrato, it goes out of tune half a step. So I can keep playing with a 5-string guitar, and it just works great. It just works beautifully. I believe this one has Dragon pickups in it, the PRS Dragon pickups. I don't know that for a fact. I don't remember what were in it originally. But they sound great. It's got a nice, especially on the neck pickup setting, it's got a really big fat tone to it. I like the sound of this guitar a lot. What else can I tell you? It's got the 5-way rotary switch for selecting pickups. So you can look at pickup number or pickup position number 1 gives you just the bridge humbucker setting. Number 2 gives you the outside coils at both pickups. So it gives you kind of a thinner, kind of a Gretschy kind of sound. Number 3 gives you the inside coils in series, I believe. And that gives you kind of a big fat Strat kind of sound. Number 4 gives you parallel single coils. So it's again, it's a single coil sound, not noisy because you got 2 pickups running, and it's kind of stratty, but a little bit deeper. It's kind of nice. And then, of course, position number 5 gives you just the neck humbucker. Excuse me. In 1991, I think it was, PRS replaced the sweet switch that was originally here, but they replaced it with a tone control. I don't use either one. I never use the sweet switch on my other guitar, and I really don't use the tone. I keep the tone typically maxed out on my guitars when I'm playing. I don't, unless there's a particular sound I'm going for, normally in recording, but when playing live, I just leave them all the way up. So PRS started their first, I guess, plant back in 1985, or manufacturing shop back in 1985. And as they became, very, very popular and started selling a lot of guitars, they expanded into their into the factory in 1995 in Maryland, right around the Baltimore area. And of course, the range expanded way out. By 1990, they had they had a couple of different bolt-on style guitars, the CE, the classic electric. They hadn't gone over to Asia yet for their SE line, but they still had just the core line, which they call it, which is U.S. manufactured in Maryland. But they had branched out into a bunch of different models. But the standard and the custom have always been the core models and have hung on. So let me walk through it. This guitar, since I bought it in 1998, has been my workhorse guitar. I've played hundreds and hundreds of gigs with this guitar. It is just remarkably stable. I'd go out and play a show. At the end of the show, I'd wipe it down, put it in the case, take it out the next day or the next week or 4 days later, whatever it might be for the next show. Perfectly in tune. Works. It's just flawless. In fact, I just plucked this off the wall to come and do this little recording, and I haven't played this guitar in weeks, and it's perfectly in tune. It's just is a wonderfully engineered and built guitar. They're so stable, just fantastic. So let me show you what the pickup selector does and what this particular guitar sounds like. I'm going to start with the neck humbucker. Switch between a pick and my fingers. I did roll off the tone a little bit for that. Give a little bit of a jazz feel. If we go to the fourth position, this is where you have the outside coils of the pickups, and this gives you a little bit more of a thin single coil, not quite stratty, but close sound. the Super Strat setting. This is where you've got parallel single coils running. Go to the second position. This is I think of this as almost a little bit Gretschy, because it has a little bit of that low end warmth along with that more pronounced higher mid range. And if you want to get a little bit more penetrating, if you will, this is the bridge pickup only. Now, if we throw a little overdrive, this one sounds a lot better, I think, overdriven. Now I'm using a TS9 tube screamer for an overdrive, so it really does fatten up the mid-range quite a bit. So it's got a pretty good, fair variety of tones. I like also overdriven if you get the neck pickup and drive that a little bit too. So the sustain on this guitar is just fantastic as well. I just love that. It has a very good connection with the body. It's just got a super strong resonance. Holds a note for a really long time. So what else can I tell you? Like I said, I bought this guitar in spring of 1998. So I've had it for a long time. It's still in remarkably good condition. I haven't scuffed it up hardly at all. It's very, very clean. I have played, I don't know, hundreds of gigs with this, and it is a fantastic workhorse of a guitar. Sounds great, plays great, feels great, and just works flawlessly. It's a beautifully engineered piece of guitar artistry. So, and on top of that, I mean, I just think it's also gorgeous. That's what I know. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Once again, 1997, Paul Reed Smith Custom 24. It's actually one of the very few guitars I've also bought brand new. Most of my guitars I choose to buy kind of old and beat up. So, 1997, Paul Reed Smith Custom 24. And thanks for watching. Have a great night.